second, I thought that was beer.
No. It's 1:30.
So there's Darties.
You know I don't like beer.
True.
It's coconut water, Xiaoko. Okay, ready? Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Oh, why are you laughing at me? Let me do my intro in peace, okay?
Shut up!
Well, I see you guys.
He's mocking my laugh.
You're mocking me.
Aww.
He's mocking my
Anyways,
laugh.
hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are Dose of Discord, where we talk about everything from is cereal a soup, or up to are you gonna buy the GameStop stocks? Ooh, I said GameStop stocks. GameStop stocks. I am AJ. I am also known as Ajajaj. I'm also here with.
I'm Eric. I'm just me.
Oh. I do this every time.
Yeah. Let Eric finish, Tiffany.
That's it.
I'm
That's it. That's all I wanted to
sorry.
say. I'm done.
Oh.
Go. Wow. This is like
Come
our
on,
fourth,
Tiffany.
this
Oh,
is
Go,
our fourth
Tiffany.
episode, and we're still not getting.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm
I like to
Kanae.
interrupt.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. See, I like to interrupt. There we go. I
Oh
finished.
my god, chaos.
And then wherever she is.
Yeah. You're pointing at
I'm
it.
Kanae.
Yeah.
Wow, that was very unenthusiastic.
I said it earlier, so
Yeah,
I
she said
didn't
it
know.
earlier. Yeah.
Okay, anyways. So last week we covered mine and Eric's our family's immigration story. Oh, not Eric, Tiffany's.
Excuse
My
you.
bad. It's because Eric's right next to me, so I saw him first.
Eric should be next to all of us.
Yeah, so this week we're going to hear from Tiffany and Kanae.
No,
So-
Eric.
Oh my gosh! I'm so bad. It's because I'm like, I thought, hey man, I thought too hard about it. And your name kept coming up.
I'm glad I'm always on your mind.
Of course, I love you. So we're gonna go with Eric and Kanae. It's because I'm like looking at my notes and I'm like confusing myself. Anyways, who would like to start first? Ooh,
I think Kanae wants to go first this time.
I'm gonna say
Because
Kanae
apparently I
because.
talk too much.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Is
Is that what we said last episode? Well, Eric Lott was very interested. That's why he spoke a lot.
who knows? Why not?
Who's
Okay,
anonymous, though?
Kanae, you can go ahead.
Okay, well, out of our crazy Brady bunch, I think I'm the only one that was not born here in the US of A. And yeah, United States of America.
USLPA.
Yes,
I've never heard of anyone called that.
Thank you. It's an international thing, like
Oh, we would
Sounds
know.
so fake.
We would
so
know.
fake.
But anyways,
No.
so I was actually born in the Philippines, and I came here when I was 5 years old. So I'm pretty Americanized, clearly. And before I came here, I was actually living in Japan. So I would move back and forth from the Philippines and Japan. And we had some, I don't know, my mom decided to come here to support her family. It's the same reason why she went to Japan and met my dad and then had me, I guess. So then, I guess. So, I mean, they were married for a long time, but they divorced. So, casual. So yeah, we came here. Yeah, I really feel like that. But yeah, I came here in December of 2003. And I guess it was a really big adjustment. I didn't speak English, so I was immediately signed up to ESL classes. And I think when I first went to like an actual school here in like Prospect Heights, Wheeling area, because I didn't live here originally. I moved like from Glenview to like Bartlett to around here, but I was living in Prospect Heights for majority of my life. And let's see, I first went to Poe, and I think it was a really big adjustment because it's more of like a Caucasian based school. So I was pretty much the only.
Asian-based.
Well, yeah, I mean, during that time, it was mainly white people. And
True. I went to Poe for like a year.
yeah, Tiffany went to Paul. Like she knows, and I think in my
Gosh,
like
did you guys
friend
know
group,
each other?
no, because
No.
we missed each other. I only went to Poe like I think my first through third grade,
And I
and
went
she
there
was
for
there
kindergarten.
earlier. Yeah,
I was
Oh.
there for kindergarten.
so we
That
kind of
means
missed each
Tiffany,
other.
Tiffany barely went there.
Yeah.
I went to
She just,
Poe. Thank
she
you very
just,
much.
she just stopped by.
Yeah, I stopped
But-
by.
But yeah, I think I mean I was fortunate to have really good friend group where they kind of just they were like super welcoming, which I thought was really interesting on my part. But I don't know, it was weird being the only Asian person, I guess, in that school. And it was a big adjustment, like family wise, because my mom during that time, I think like being bilingual wasn't something to be, I think, proud or happy of. My mom really wanted me to assimilate into American culture. So she only spoke to me in English. So I lost my like speaking of Japanese and a little bit of my Filipino culture. So I feel like I did lose that aspect of language when I first came here because they were told like in ESL classes that it was very important to learn English as soon as you can so you can assimilate back into like the regular kids. So I think up until third grade, they released me out of ESL classes. So
They
that's when I
released you?
transferred. Yeah, it's like I don't know.
They released you.
Yes, they took me away.
I don't like that. Like,
Okay, fine. I
word.
graduated.
You
I graduated.
You're in prison. They released you.
Yes, but I graduated from ESL classes in third grade. So then it took me. They transferred me to Frost. So I think that's when I met a lot of my like minority group diversity type friends, which was really interesting. I mean, there was only one Asian kid in my class, and his name was Kenny.
Oh my God,
And
Kenny.
yeah, Kenny Xiao. Shout out to him. And he was one of the only people that understood like Asian culture, Asian food. So I wasn't the only person bringing fried rice and like seaweed snacks in the cafeteria. Because when I first came here, I had some kids where they're like, "Oh my god, that smells weird. That smells disgusting. Like, what are you eating? Like, why would you eat that?" So then it kind of forced me to not bring that kind of food to my lunch time, I guess. So then when I went to Frost, I thought that was really good to see somebody else go through that experience of like, okay, I'm not the only Asian kid in school. Like it's not weird. They have friends that have seen him eat fried rice or these really cool Asian foods. So it kind of made me feel more accepted. But by that time, I didn't speak Japanese anymore. I was already speaking English full on, no Filipino culture. Oh, I'm a Japapino, by the way. So half Filipino, half Japanese. I don't know if I said that earlier,
No.
but no, I didn't, right? I didn't say
No.
that. So yeah. So I feel like during that time I kind of lost both my cultures and became like fully American. Kind of like what Adria was saying, how she thought that she was Mexican. Like I'm pretty sure I grew up thinking like, oh yes, I'm American. Like so I think after that, I don't know, I grew really good friends, like really good diverse group of friends that I felt really welcome. And I think around that time, that's when I met AJ.
No.
I met another Filipino gal through church schools, and I met a lot of like really good cultural friends, which just made me feel welcome for being here. And then when we got to sixth grade, or sixth grade, yeah, middle school, I think that's when it kind of shifted through like experience wise. Like I remember being bullied in middle school, like these group of kids, these hoodlums. I remember they would they would call me Godzilla because I came from Japan. And I remember them telling me that I should go back to where I came from because it was just that like weird time of, I guess, dominance or I don't know, they just didn't know or didn't accept or whatever. And I remember fully like being bullied. They would make fun of my chinky eyes. They would when it was my birthday, they would decorate our lockers. My group of really good friends would decorate my locker. And I remember that person would write Godzilla on my locker and like had everybody see it, like his group of friends. And I just remember thinking like, what did I do to you, or what made me so different from you that you would say these really mean things to me, you know? And it's not like he was born here too. It was like I don't know. It was just kind of like a culture shock, I think, and I think that was the first like real harsh experience that I had growing up here in America, because I feel like I did grow up here a lot, so I was very Americanized. But in that context, I didn't look American, you know. So
Bro,
I
how
think that
dumb
was,
are you to have your only insult be Godzilla? Like,
I know,
like
like
I'm sorry. Like that's like low key, Godzilla's cool.
It's
yeah.
awesome.
Godzilla's lit.
I mean, it's a good movie, and
Like-
it's a big thing. It's a big thing in Japan. Okay,
big thing.
like
Sure,
what
I
what
love
would that be?
Godzilla.
What would that be like if someone were to like insult me? Like, oh, Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao.
I don't know. Like, oh yeah, you're just naming like anything that like you think is related to like the culture, like small brain. At least if you're gonna bully someone,
I know.
come up with something good.
Right. But I think during that time, it was just like a different, like I didn't have you guys, you know, like you guys didn't have like that same experience like with me. Like if it were the same people, it wasn't equivalent to like your reaction. Like you'd be like, oh yeah, I love Godzilla. Like this is like a really cool.
I think it's like especially like, you know,
Yeah.
middle school is like such a weird time
Yeah.
for everyone.
For sure.
Like this is like when the time like I don't know, like every like little kids are like are like everyone's learning swear words all of a sudden and like deciding to be like edgy, and like it's like a very moldable time for people.
Yeah.
Pretty and everything.
I'm interested to know, just because I think you have a unique experience there with the kind of like racist bullying you had. I don't think I heard it from anyone else. But so my question is like, did this is happening in the school? Was there any accountability? Did teachers see this and do anything?
I don't think I raised awareness of it. I think I kind of just took it because my mom taught me when I was young to just smile at them, to basically give them the complete opposite reaction of what they were giving. So they would learn that you can tell that person anything, but it won't really faze them. So it's kind of like a mental game of like, would you really want those people that don't know you, who have such narrow-minded like thought process or thinking, to like define who you are? So she kind of just said to laugh at them, like just to laugh and smile at them. So no, I don't think I told a teacher back then, but I think some of my friends did. And I think that's when we had to go to a social worker because it got out of hand with that. So I remember going to like the dean's office at Holmes and like talking through a social worker, but it was kind of chaotic. I don't really know what happened afterwards, but I think during like 5th grade or like the beginning of 6th grade, I feel like there was a part of me that became really angry with why that was happening. So I kind of built this persona, I think, in that time of being, I don't know, I don't want to say bossy, but kind of just telling myself like I'm not taking your crap. So I kind of built like a wall with people because I was afraid of, I guess, people being mean to me like that with those people that they don't even know me. They're acting like that to me already. So I was really fortunate to have met really, really good people that, you know, broke down those walls to help me understand like what they were doing was not okay, and it's not like a normal thing. It's just those kind of people. But there are people that are really accepting. So that's what I really appreciated. I don't know. Do you have any questions? I don't know what else to say with that.
Does that answer your question, Eric?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 I mean, I guess it's interesting because you're I think you're the only one who so far has like brought it up, like explicitly, like racism or bullying.
Oh yeah. I still remember the names. I still remember the faces. I could expose them.
I don't know that I experienced racism. Oh, I'm sure that there was, but nothing that was so.
Yeah.
Really stood out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if anyone else did, and then just didn't mention it.
Yeah. No, I think
I
I kind of just hood it. Like I hood it. I hit it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
God.
yeah, because at least for me, I feel like I was frequently around a lot of people who were like me, so a lot of Hispanics or and there's also always a lot of white people too.
but
I don't know.
you know the cool white people. You're the cool white people.
The elementary school that I went to was mainly like Caucasians, but there was always like one or two minority people that were in my classes. So it's not like we were out of the blue like in the classes. So
Yeah.
I don't remember ever. I mean, there was one time in third grade, somebody stole my bookmark, and I was really pissed off. You know,
Was that racially motivated?
I don't know. He was the new kid. That's the thing.
He was the new kid.
He
Oh,
wanted to build a reputation of being the bad boy.
Wow. I'm gonna steal your
I still
bookmark.
bad
remember his
girl.
name, so there's that.
I mean,
feel-
I thought it was interesting because like a lot of the Caucasian people that I became friends with, they were really accepting. So it wasn't that type of like Caucasian versus like minority type aspect. The group of people that actually bullied me were like Latino culture, like a group of Latinos in our school that were just mean towards like a lot of people. And I think that kind of just it was just weird. Like I just didn't expect like to experience bullying in general
Yeah.
because I thought, when we first came here, my mom told me that, this is a land of opportunity. Like this is the land where it's good to like accept there's a lot of diversity here. So my mom just adjusting to it. I mean, I never told my mom about that. I think when I was younger, I didn't tell a lot of people, but yeah, it was just something weird. But I think during middle school, like towards the end of it, I think I kind of just like got fed up with it and I kind of just told them, like, you guys are just stupid people. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I kind of stood up for myself. I remember straight up telling that person, like, I never did anything bad to you. So I don't appreciate you making these remarks about me. And then I think that's when, in that moment, I kind of just grew up, like evolved from that. And then high school came, and then I met you guys. So
it's really like, yo, like you really out here just minding your own business, and they really just try to. Like,
Rain
yo,
on your parade.
that's the worst. Like you really just not doing anything, and then they just decide, yeah, I choose you to be mean to.
yeah,
Yeah.
like only you. Like it's just weird. Like I just remember, I mean, during that time, I was stuck with Erickson as my locker buddy through all 3 years, even in high school. And he was also Filipino, also Asian. He was like,
Wait, who?
really cool. Erickson or Bello. No,
Name dropping.
no, he's cool. He's cool.
No,
I think,
I'm just like not ringing a bell.
Yeah, I don't know
know.
these people.
well, he went to our high school. Like,
Okay, that doesn't mean anything. I don't know
Oh my
half the
goodness.
people.
Yeah, I was
at
gonna
our
say I
high
only know
school.
like 75% of our graduating class.
Oh,
I still
God.
remember when I graduated and I looked out from the stage. I'm like,
I would-
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've
I
never
remember
seen you
During the
before.
rehearsal,
Yeah.
like I like looked. I was just like, bro, who are these people?
Yeah.
I've never seen you in a day of my life.
It's because we were
Goodness.
just stuck with either the band kids or like the honors and
Yeah.
AP kids, and
How
that
many-
we're only like a small group of like only
Yeah.
like 100 of them.
Yeah, we saw
That's
each other.
crazy.
a
Like you
lot.
saw, like even if you like, because I know like some like other places, like other like countries, like the teacher like comes to them and then you're like with the
Yeah,
class.
you're just stuck with
I
that.
know I had a
for 20.
conversation of this with with one of my friends, and he's like, oh, that like just limits your like dating pool if you're just all stuck in the same class. I was like, he's like, I'm like, yeah, but like in like even in like public school here, like you're kind of like even though you're going to class, you're kind of in the same class with like
Yeah.
the
a lot of
same
people.
group of people.
I feel like the only time I saw not honors students or AP students is like if
Gym.
PE.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
electives.
like
PE
or
or like
lunch.
Or
if you're
well,
like
even
Lunch.
with
My
lunch,
favorite class.
I mean lunch like we
Lunch.
never actually sat in like the cafeteria.
Yeah, we sat
There's
by
no
the fine
room.
arts student.
I mean, me and
Yeah.
Eric, freshman year, me and Eric sat in the cafeteria all the time.
Yeah, I did
Bro,
too. My sophomore year,
what a time.
junior,
We
senior
just sat.
year.
We just sat in the hallway. We would get
Yeah.
kicked out too.
But yeah, gym was when I definitely met like
Gym
non
honors,
Yeah.
people,
like honors
non-honors
kids.
people. Yeah.
Oh, look at us, we're honor students. I don't know. But
Uh,
or if you're in like other clubs, like you meet
but
other
like,
people.
but like we didn't take 5 AP classes, guys. Come on.
Oh, my God.
I was close, but I didn't.
Oh gosh,
I don't remember how many.
that was
That was
the
hilarious.
joke of the year.
that was so funny. But yeah,
Was that
I don't
because?
know.
So is that why she couldn't do marching band?
Yeah.
Or is
Well,
it IMEA?
because she didn't want to do much. Well,
I don't think she
marching
wanted
band. It was marching
Oh,
band.
marching band. Okay.
To. But yeah.
It's-
Don't worry about it, guys. If you were
It's fine.
listeners, don't worry about it.
yeah, yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it unless you took 5 AP classes.
Yeah, for real.
I could never. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Oh my god, 4 AP classes was terrible.
Mm-mm.
And one of them I wouldn't even count as an AP class because it was music theory.
I heard that they're
Yeah.
phasing out like SAT and eventually like ACT. So
Oh,
college-
ACT's been out.
yeah, they're phasing out the SAT
Oh, really?
And
and
changing it to what?
they're gonna look at your AP scores, like your test scores.
What if you didn't take an AP class?
Oh
Yeah.
god.
I mean,
So what?
like
GPA then?
yeah, GPA.
No,
mean,
that's weird.
Yeah,
Well-
that's what I read something like they're slowly like going to phase it out and
I
like
think it makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Like I
But-
think like they would like it would like look at like the classes you take as like a whole and stuff like that, like the type of classes you're taking,
Yeah.
etc.
That's quite interesting.
So
Um,
that's interesting.
So I guess we went on a tangent
So
a little bit.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we normally
you know,
do.
school it'd be like that.
Did you I mean, were there others? I don't, did you? I don't know how to say this. You're telling your, I guess, the immigrant story of like, I guess, your family and kind of how you got here and kind of what experiences you had, and you left off at middle school. Is there something else that you wanted to share?
Oh, I think in high school, that's when I met, you, Eric, Tiffany. Like, I've known AJ since, 2006?
Yeah, we just never went to the same school.
No,
Like, I
until
was-
high
'cause-
school.
Yeah, because I was supposed to go to middle school with you. Then but then like my parents made they requested I went to London
London?
middle school because like there's a program I was like in there.
With
Yeah.
Mr. G.
Yeah, Mr. G. I was supposed to be in the math class, but they messed up my records. They messed up my records from when I transferred. So I was never put in like the advanced math class.
Mhm.
I could have been like, what's his name? I could have been
David?
I could have been David. I could have been David Ho. Like I was supposed to be in the advanced like math class, but then like by the time they like realized it, like that I was supposed to be in it, it was already too late for me to like be put in because I'd be like already behind, like
Yeah.
with like the stuff I was learning.
Oh yeah, I remember middle schoolers coming to our high school math class. And I'm just like, okay, hi.
Oh, but
Right.
we love David.
We love David. David was so nice.
No, was anyone in geometry with me? Who took geometry?
Who did you have?
She was the lady.
Miss
I think-
Abdullah?
I think I was with you, Eric.
Yeah, I think we were in the same one.
Yeah,
with
there was like
Ashley.
no, With Ashley and
Yeah.
Patrick, and our teacher would ship them. Like it was very
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
it was.
Mm.
No,
This-
but I just remember there's like one kid. He was like around like the same age as like David.
I don't
He was like
remember.
there was like one
Oh.
kid. I feel like
Oh my God, what's his name? Anise?
no.
Anise
no,
is
no.
our age, isn't he?
Do you remember?
Yeah, I
No?
know who you're talking about. No, there was someone else. Like he was like younger. He was like younger than David. He was
I
like a
don't
year
remember.
younger than David. He was
Oh.
bro. He was really smart, and then but he was like the child of the class, and we're like, oh, he's got to go back to like middle school now, like, 6th grade. He got to go back to 6th grade.
That's so crazy.
wild.
I've never had like a middle schooler coming into my math class.
I don't remember having that.
I always had them for some reason. Me and Eric had all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was interesting. What a time.
What a time. No, I think in high school, that's when I don't know. I think we were we were in band together. So I think that's when I was able to be with AJ for like the first time ever after knowing her for
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
We only met every week for
Like,
religion classes.
Yeah.
And that's when we
Parties.
met like Nate Reeve. That's when I met Nate Reeve because his
Yeah.
parents was our teacher
That was
for our
really
religion
funny.
classes.
Bro,
But-
he would get in trouble in class from his parents.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Good
What-
time.
That's so funny.
No, but I don't know. I didn't really experience that in high school. I think since our high school was much more diverse and they were really aware of, diversity. We had display of cultures. I never experienced that in like a middle school kind of setting.
I still
I don't know.
remember I the Mexican went up to the organizer. I'm just like, there's too much Mexican representation here. Can we do a one more Filipino slot, please? And she's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh. Damn.
I don't think it
I
was that
remember
big of a
that.
deal, but yeah.
I think
Yeah, I
it's-
remember that.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, like that we went to such a diverse high school, but we still have like shithole people who like graduated from there, who like who are very like narrow-minded still.
Oh yeah.
And like, dang, they must have hated being in high school. They must have hated that.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
Did you have any
I just-
names?
Charlie Kirk. There's some people like I see people like on like newsfeed like I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
personally know them, but like I could name drop them. Like I saw someone like
There's been a lot of people.
like someone like we all know them. Like her boyfriend, he was like a year older than us. Like he commented on like I think on someone's like post, like someone made a comment on like another post on like a big page, and he commented and he just said like the F word, like the derogatory F word. And then another person that we do know, I'm not gonna say names in case like they eventually hear
Yeah.
it, like, but I remember she saw it and I saw it. I'm like, bro, I want to know how many people from high school who like saw it. She like commented and she was like, oh, question mark. I'm like, oh, interesting.
I don't know. There were cliques and stuff in our high school.
I mean, yeah.
And I know there were some people who were, different crowds, different mindsets and whatever. But I think when we interacted with them, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like racial. There was no like racial interaction that I remembered of. Like I didn't experience that.
Yeah.
In school. I experienced some bullying, but I don't think it was affiliated with.
Like it's just people
My
being
race.
assholes.
Yeah,
like,
it's just being jerks, I guess. but-
it's like nothing really racially motivated, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I think I was just grateful that I had made a lot of good friends in high school where they had my back no matter what. Eric's like, oh, wow, she's talking about me. No, but yeah, I'm extremely grateful. Like I think in high school that's when we evolved as people, like our characters, our traits. And I think being able to share that, especially in band, like hashtag band is life. That's still like obviously it's not like how do you explain? But I don't know.
And we actually said that a lot.
We
Band is
did.
life.
Band
We
is
were like,
life.
you know, we
Band
were
is
those
life.
stereo.
'Cause
Like
it
we
was
really were those
true.
people.
It was true.
We were like those stereotypical band kids. Like, haha, band.
Remember that time
yeah,
at band camp?
At band camp, bro. But like weird things did happen at band camp.
It
Dude,
really
senior
did.
year, I missed 2 weeks of
Tiffany, do
school just for band.
you remember Indiana? We went to Indiana.
That was
Indiana.
fun. They
Yeah.
didn't record us though. They didn't record us correctly. Remember, we were the only ones that didn't have the
I
camera ready
wouldn't
for
know,
us.
guys, listeners. I was in orchestra.
Yeah, Orchid.
True.
Wait, are you talking about
Orchestra.
Miss America?
No, not Butler. That was Butler.
Oh, I'm talking about Music for All.
No.
Oh no,
We
is that
went
what it's
to
called?
yes, Music for All. But we
Wait,
went to
so we
band
didn't get
camp.
recorded?
We did, but
Music
they
for
did it
All?
wrong. Like they
That's
missed.
why we
the
didn't get a DVD?
We did.
I didn't
Tiffany's
get
No,
a
we
so
didn't get a
confused.
DVD. We got a CD, and it didn't have all of our songs.
It
Oh
didn't?
yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
it didn't.
No.
Bullshit. We
Can't
paid for that.
can't
We
relate.
paid for that. We
We're-
Paid for that.
Yeah, we
No,
didn't get
okay,
our
well,
DVD.
But we did. I mean, remember
I
Tiffany?
didn't pay for it.
Tiffany, you remember we were in orchestra with AJ and we did some songs and dance on and whatever.
Bro, I clowned so much in orchestra after like I stopped caring about it because like I just did not like her. She just rubs me the wrong way.
Dude, I remember in Dance On #2, she had me practice that piccolo solo with Matt
In front
and,
of everyone.
like 10 times, and I'm just like,
She had you
dude,
play it.
I was like, dude, we're matching. Obviously, the sound's not gonna match up in the front of the room because you're so far away. My sound's gonna travel faster than the piano because piano is like 10 octaves lower than me.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So what do you
okay.
want me to
So
do?
I don't know if I ever told you guys why she rubs me the wrong way. But
Wait.
so
This
so
is who is this again?
The director.
Orchestra.
Okay.
no,
Good.
you know.
Okay.
You know,
no,
Eric.
Yes,
Come
I
on.
know. No, okay.
you know Sarah. But
Yeah.
no,
Our girl.
sophomore year, I was still in like, I still auditioned for like the higher orchestra and stuff, whatever.
Chamber.
Yeah, chamber. I think I like stopped doing chamber like senior year, but because I just did not want to wake up that early anymore. But no, because it was around the time like IMEA was like auditions were coming around, you know, and so if you're in chamber, you had to audition for IMEA. But this was also like this is a time like I was gone for like 2 weeks because we went to Florida because my grandma was in a hospital, and then we stayed another week because my grandma died. So, but then when I came back, like I had like obviously like I couldn't practice or anything. But then she expected me to still audition, like she because like there was also like testing, and then she expected me to like still audition like for IMA and do like the stuff for that. And I was like,
Remorse.
I was like, I'm not going to do that. Like I was like straight up, I'm not doing that. Like,
You know, I kind of miss IMEA, but I also kind of don't.
No. No. That was horrible.
you know,
It was so horrible. I just
I mean, the auditioning part I hate, but like,
the system of it was screwed up too.
Yeah,
and you
that
know
too.
it.
whoa, the honors band. That's the
Honors band was
messed
screwed up.
interesting.
Because let me
Mhm.
tell you,
That was
let me tell you,
Oh, high school drama.
let me
there's a
tell
lot. I mean,
Ugh.
it's just funny. But yeah, I don't know. I really liked high school, like experience wise. I made really good memories. Band was life. It really took over our life. We were in all of it. I mean, too much of it. But
Too much.
we made the most out of it. I mean, guys, we even woke up freaking like 4 a.m. to be on a 5-minute segment of a news.
Oh
TV
my
show.
You guys so good
God.
before color guard had to be up at 2 a.m. was our call time.
I mean,
Oh my
You're like,
no,
okay.
no, we were there by like, I think we had to be awake by like 3.
Yeah.
And they said to have
and
us
then-
ready.
Yeah, but they had to
Fine.
get ready.
Yeah, we had to get ready.
For
like
5 minutes. It wasn't even 5 minutes. I felt like 1 minute.
2 seconds.
bro, it was also cold in the morning.
It was cold. And I remember we were in like dresses. No, it wasn't. It was when we were in our disco outfits, right?
Yeah, and then he wouldn't even write us passes for first period. I was like, bruh.
No, we had to run. We ran off that.
I think my
field.
teacher
I don't
just
even
didn't
think I
care.
went to first period. I think I forged a pass.
I think I did
I always
too.
forged passes.
No, I think I just got it from Logan. I was like, just
Oh.
please.
I think it's because we were cleaning up.
We
stuff.
were cleaning up.
And then the bell
We
rang
were
and
the
we're like,
first to
"Bruh."
arrive
Yeah.
and to
was
last
like,
to
"Bruh,
leave. Like
please."
you were president. Like, come on.
Was
Not
I
at that
president at the
time.
time? Or was I treasurer?
Not at the time.
No.
Treasurer.
No.
I
But
think Alexandra was president at the
but
time.
drum major.
Oh yeah, you had the
I had
you
no
had the
choice.
strings.
So yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah,
Hi.
No.
this is Kanai's story. Baptist life.
I mean, it consumed me. But no, I think like cultural wise, I think it was really good that they had, display of cultures. It was a really good
Like-
representation of our school that they were diverse.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
kind
it
of
was-
happy that our high school was pretty diverse.
Yeah, I think that's something very common that like I see like especially if you immigrate like as like pretty young is like you're
Mhm.
very like from what I see is like a lot of people they forget like how to like speak their like language because like they're focused on like trying to like adjust here and like
Fit in.
learn
Yeah.
learn English like at a fast pace. And I think it also depends especially like where you're living, like where like the environment you live in.
Mhm.
Too. So I know like a lot of people who they grew up in the Philippines like for like up until like elementary school, but like when they came here, what's it called? They
still
kind of like
retained.
they like just forgot like everything.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
like
didn't
their
help.
parents didn't like really like force it upon them. Like their parents' mindset was to like learn like you have to learn English, blah blah blah, and or like they kind of like stopped speaking at home. It's like a common thing I think in like a lot of like Asian, especially in like Filipino communities. Like you understand but you can't speak. You understand the language
Yeah, that's
as you
me.
grow up hearing it, but like you never were actually taught like how to speak it.
That's me with Filipino. I mean, Bisaya. Like I understand it, but it's really hard for me to
Yeah.
go like.
Yeah, like it's like something like my parents definitely were the opposite. They're like, no, she
You
has
need
to.
to
She
keep-
like
yeah.
it's because like they knew I would eventually go back to the Philippines, and they're like they don't want them to like to see me as like just like an outside like a foreigner and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
like my mom's always like she meets like friends that she knows are born Philippines and can't speak to that, and then she'll be like, oh, why can't you speak anymore? And I'm like, Mom, don't ask them that.
Yeah,
It's
I know a lot of
personal.
people that do that now, like with their kids. I have some cousins or even some teachers who they literally they don't speak English to their kids. They speak whatever their language
Language.
is. So it's
Mhm.
Spanish for the most people that I know. So they only
Yeah.
speak Spanish. They're like, oh, they'll learn English. They have no choice. They live in America. They'll learn through
Mhm.
Yeah, they'll learn through the school.
yeah, they'll learn through
Yeah.
school and TV and all that.
Yeah,
But I
Like-
think now they just assimilated that being bilingual or knowing more languages is a really good thing. So I think that's why they're just starting to assimilate. Okay, let's keep teaching our kids our culture, our languages, but at the same time they're gonna learn English at school, and they're gonna have to like take another world language in school,
I'm
which
gonna
is what we
just-
did. So
I'm gonna just say they're gonna have hard time taking tests though, because
You know,
it's like there's like a study like if you know like multiple languages, sometimes your brain has to go through like translating it through
Translations, yeah.
every single language,
mm,
and I'm
Yeah.
like, so like I think that used to happen to me in like
Yeah,
high
same.
school sometimes, like
Yes.
and like
but
I'm just
I
like
think like career wise, like adulting wise, like to get a job or to have these
very
qualities, I
beneficial.
think it's beneficial, right?
yeah,
I have a question for you.
bro, yeah.
Did who out of all of you were in bilingual classes or ESL classes?
So I was in ESL. Tiffany was in ESL.
All three of you?
No, I didn't. I spoke perfect English, bro.
I was not, but because my like when my mom or my parents were registering me, they specifically were like, "No, you're not gonna put him in. You're gonna put him in the general
See,
classes."
my parents tried to do that, but because I never spoke in my classes, they're
They
like, no,
thought
yeah,
No,
they're like,
that's what
no,
they
she
did with
needs
my
to,
brother. That's
yeah,
what they did with my brother. He is a quiet kid, and you
yeah.
guys know of that. But with
He used to be really quiet, yeah,
yeah, but with you guys, he always wanted to hang out with us, like
yeah.
when we're all together. So he kind of grew that shell out when
Mhm.
he's with us, but when he's with like other people, he's still quiet. So in elementary school, they stuck him in ESL classes because he wouldn't participate because he was shy.
Mhm.
He spoke English. He
Yeah.
spoke English, and he didn't know other languages, but they still put him in ESL classes. And my mom was so confused, and she's like, "Why did they put him in
Yeah.
ESL classes?"
I think that's interesting because
Because
I've heard
yeah,
I've heard stories of like people like because you're talking about like being just put in ESL. I've heard stories of people not being
Stuck.
put in ESL
Oh,
and like people just assume they're quiet and shy, but like the kid like just doesn't understand like English that well. I'm like,
yeah. I was
that's
I
stuck
hear
in
a lot of
opposite
stories of
ESL
that.
with
for
AJ.
like a year or
I was
two.
never in ESL.
And then I moved,
I mean,
and then my other school was like, "Oh no, she doesn't need to be in ESL." I was reading freaking Harry Potter at that
I
age.
think it's also because I
Wow.
think it's because like my like the school I went to before there's no ESL.
same.
Like I went to
That was Frost.
I went to a Catholic school
Uh,
like and
yeah,
then I transferred to public school and so they're like, oh, they probably assume
that she doesn't need it.
I
yeah.
can speak English. I went to like an all white Catholic school
that's weird.
and I
Because
was friends with all the Asians there.
I mean, at Frost, they didn't have that program.
All
That's why
three
they
of
sent me
them.
to Poe, because we weren't the same
Yeah.
school. I mean, we were the same school district, but it was further away. But because they didn't have a program, I had to go to Poe my first 3 years. And then once I graduated, not released, graduated, I went back
You went
to
to Frost.
Frost because I was, I guess, okay in English.
Interesting.
So
That's
okay,
interesting.
Eric, you need to go because we're just gonna randomly talk about other things.
Accurate.
I don't know. I mean, if I don't know how much time
We can just keep talking. It's fine. You
We
can cut things
started
out.
at like 20, 30, 20, 30.
Like 1:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Fine.
All
That's
right.
fine.
Well, yeah, I can go. So
Eric's the only one who's not Asian here.
can we take a short pause?
I
Sure.
thought he was gonna say potty break again.
Well, I was gonna say that, but let's take a short pause.
Where's my light
We
turn
will
off?
return
Oh,
in just a moment, and okay, we'll be right back.
and we back.
We're back. I don't feel like I owe an explanation, but I'll give one anyway. I drank a lot of water before this, and I am known as thirsty boy. I do drink
No,
a lot.
boy
Fine,
is
just
not the
thirsty.
word.
Just thirsty.
No.
Then tell me. Oh my god.
Okay, you a thirsty hoe. That's what we
Oh,
always call you.
Thirsty hoe.
that used to
Okay.
be
Okay.
me, but not anymore. So.
But yeah, I
To
had
me,
like.
salty hoe.
Anyways, that's enough about that.
Anyways.
Now back to me.
Oh,
You
Um,
like that, don't you?
So I guess my turn, right? So go through, I guess, that a little bit of the background of the immigration story, I guess, of mostly my parents, because I was myself was born here in the United States. I was born in Des Plaines, but I grew up in Wheeling my whole life.
Hey, Displains!
In
Displains
Holy
game.
Family Hospital.
Oh yeah, right. That's everyone's born in the hospital.
So there's two sides, right? There's my mom, my dad. My mom, side is I think really interesting just because it goes back to my grandfather. Um, my mom, her parents, and her family lived in a small town in Mexico for a long time. It wasn't that small, but they lived in Mexico in a more rural area. And my grandpa would often go back and forth between the United States and Mexico as, I guess, a laborer. And back then, I mean, I think even to this day, that program might still exist, but I think that's how he handled that. I think it was like a worker visa, but he had been through many parts of the United States, including around this area. And at some point, they all left Mexico and they lived in various parts of the United States. They lived in Atlanta at some point. They lived in Pico Rivera, which is really close to LA. It's east of LA. I think it's in LA County. They lived in um, on Piper, somewhere
Hey,
around there.
that's where
Yeah,
I used to live nearby.
yeah, that's where they lived at. Um, and then at some point they went back to Mexico. So my mom, she went to like kindergarten and maybe first grade here, in actually in California, but she pretty much grew up in Mexico because they went back and they stayed there. And then at some point in the future, like they came back, my because my grandfather was a citizen, and then therefore, all his children, all my mom and all my uncles and aunts, they're citizens. And so my mom moved back here as an adult, probably around the age of like 18, 19, with my aunt. And at some point, she married my dad and had me. But she pretty much grew up in Mexico despite being a United States citizen. And so she does like have an accent, and she very much is very tied with, I guess, the Mexican culture. But at this point, she spent so much time, more time here, that, I mean, she's more American than Mexican, I would say, in many respects. My dad, on the other side, um, he had his family was kind of middle class, but something happened between them and they dropped into very deep poverty. So he grew up very, very poor in Mexico. Like he didn't have shoes, and like one of his best memories was like winning a toothbrush in a raffle. So that's how poor he was. And so
Oh,
yeah, so at some point, he came to United States. He was probably like 18, I think, or around that age. I think it was just him, and he came to look for more opportunity. Um, and I mean, I guess he did, right? So he worked in various factories. He learned the language, and now he has a pretty good paying, decent job. He got his associate's degree. Um,
I saw that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, he graduated
Nice.
with when Kanae and I think AJ. I think when you all got your CNA
The
thing.
CNA, everyone got their like that graduation, and we saw
Yeah.
Eric, and we're like, "What are you doing here?" He's
I
like, "My
wasn't
dad
there.
graduated."
Aw.
I
I
went.
couldn't go. Only AJ went.
I went. I missed color guard auditions, and there was a rumor that started that I wasn't doing color guard anymore, and I was like, "What?" Like, no, I'm graduating college.
No, I remember you. You were telling us that.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, your dad is so cute, by the way. Just to throw it in there.
I think your
Yeah.
mom tries to give me insurance or something every time I see her.
Oh, was it like life insurance? Because at some point she was selling life insurance.
Yeah, because we ran into her at like Walmart. Then her and my mom were talking, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I want to go home."
Yeah. So, um,
Associates.
so I guess something that's really, I think, interesting about like my dad's side is that only half of his family came over to the United States, and the other half stayed in Mexico. And my dad was the youngest, and so I did mention that they were kind of middle class-ish at some point. And so the ones who actually stayed behind were all the oldest ones, the ones who actually lived through the middle class era of their family, because they got, I would say, probably got more of an education, or they just felt more established in Mexico. For example, my uncle was like, I don't know, maybe like 15 years older than my dad. He was a full-grown adult with children, so they stayed in Mexico. But the younger ones came to the United States because I think they lived during that era in their family of deep poverty. Um, but yeah, that's a little bit about my family. Now we're here. They went to, I don't know why they picked Wheeling, but that's where we've been forever. For what I've been forever, at least. Yeah,
Is there a reason like anyone else's family like picked like Wheeling, like the Wheeling area?
Opportunity, maybe.
um At least for my family, I think that's where they found some good opportunity, right? I'm really happy that they didn't move to, for example, Chicago, where there's a huge, Hispanic community, or even certain parts of LA where I just think like I went to school in Chicago for college. I've seen or and learned about these schools from the people who went there and just the conditions and the violence that sometimes they
Oh,
handle.
Chicago public
Yeah.
schools. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like even just the neighborhoods they're in, right?
Right.
So I really think
Like
they
unless you
made a
like
good
went to like one
choice.
of the really like nice schools.
Right.
Unless you went
Exactly.
to like Lane Tech. My friend went to Lane Tech, but
Yeah.
even
I think
then,
that's interesting.
I think they picked a
yeah.
really good spot. I would have not turned out the same if I had to go
Do you
grow up in
feel
Chicago.
disconnected with your other parts of your family? Or do you still feel as if you're connected because you would visit Mexico or
Uh, that's an
whatnot?
interesting question. My mom's family, her family is literally scattered everywhere. They're in
Mm,
Texas, in California, in New York,
Mm.
in
right.
Rockford. So it's super split. I know probably her nuclear family a little bit. Half of them travel back and forth between Mexico, but I don't really see many of them. I probably only have like one or
Right.
two
Yeah.
uncles around here. On my
Mm,
dad's side, I know the ones that moved over, but there's a lot of family that's in Mexico, and my grandparents, all of them, they stayed in Mexico, so I didn't really grow up with them. At this point,
mm,
they've basically all passed away except for one, but I never really knew any of them.
yeah,
So,
that makes sense. Because I know, like, my grandparents, they have 7 kids. So all of them have children. We all, collectively, our family's huge. We're all everywhere. But I know, like, they're all close to each other. I mean, I have a sister. I'm a middle child. So my eldest sister is in the Philippines with her child. But, me and my brother are here. So what Eric talked about with, like, fragments,
Fragment.
like, fragments.
Fragment.
Okay, clearly I didn't pass ESL classes. Anyways, or maybe I should just go back. But yeah, I feel like there is some type of disconnection, I guess with my family, because I guess we just are so scattered. But I remember there was a time, I think, well, almost every week, my mom, we have like a familia group chat on Facebook. So I'm kind of grateful with like social media and platforms. We're still able to connect with each other, even though we're like around the world. But I mean, I have some cousins that I've never met before. Like, if I were to go to the Philippines or Japan, I would be like an outsider regardless because I don't look full Filipino and I don't speak the language that well. So if I were to go there, they'd be like, "Who are you?" But it's the same if I were to go to Japan. Like, I look super tan for a Japanese
I
yeah.
person.
feel like in the Philippines, they'd be like, "Oh, she's probably like Chinese Filipino,"
Yeah, I
because
could.
there's a lot of
Yeah,
Chinese in the Philippines.
there are so many. I know that.
It's like the first time I went to Cambodia because we're Chinese Cambodians, so
Yes,
we're
sir.
definitely like really light skinned, and it's very praised there. Like a lot of people, they like to
Hmm.
bathe in milk because they want to lighten their skin up, and so I remember the first time going there, I would because we met like a lot of my grandma's brothers and sisters, yeah. So it was nice to meet everyone there, but they wanted to touch like my skin. It was kind of weird.
Oh, what?
Yeah, well, it's because it's like because at that time, I was like 12, 10. I was 10, so like my skin was still
It was
pure.
very soft.
Pure.
Yeah, very soft, pure, and so it's not in a weird way. I guess it's more like affection, like a sign of affection. I guess it's what it
Mm.
is. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it was interesting to see how they lived compared to us because a lot of them they're part of like the higher class in Cambodia, which is
Oh,
just
not
like
same.
living in the capital and having a somewhat nice house compared to like living out in the countryside. Because in the countryside, it's just basically like a hut of a house. It's just like made out of straw.
Mm,
So none of my grandma's relatives live like that. So it's nice. It's not nice to see, but it's interesting to see how their like high class is kind of like our middle class here. So it's
mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
third world countries.
Yeah, I mean, Philippines is a third world country.
Yeah,
My family
I'm
grew
sure.
up in like the poverty area of Visayas, but basically like metal, like housing, concrete, whatever. But I mean, they live on an ocean. Like the
Yeah.
backyard is their ocean. They
Yeah.
grow up with like a free view of the ocean every day. And I think that's like beautiful to me, but like it also comes with like weird rust, salt
Yeah.
kind of issues. But I don't know. I feel like since their life in the Philippines is much more simple, like it's just really different than here.
It's just
But
it's like a culture shock every time you go
yeah.
and visit.
But they just taught me to be grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I'm here. So
Pretty sure we just moved to Wheeling because the houses were cheap. Like at the time,
Yeah.
like they were looking for like houses in the area because
I think this is a really good area. At least maybe I'm
Well-
very biased, but
well,
I
no,
think
I
this-
think it's a good area, but like values are going up here, taxes are going up over here. I mean, we have a new downtown.
yeah.
Like,
no, it's kind of gypped that we have Cook County taxes.
Yeah.
It's so gypped.
Mhm.
We just missed the border, huh? We're like, let's pick one of like the less fortunate county like in the area. They're like, yeah, Wheeling, right there. Let's screw them. You know?
Mm.
It's
Yeah,
funny that you say that like the prices were good because I mean I don't know at that time how they were, right? But I know that some people say like, oh, we don't like this area because it's so expensive.
well, now, I
Yeah.
mean, do you see like the condos and apartments that are right by
Yeah.
the town?
property value
I
definitely.
feel like that's crazy. I feel like
It's
like, it looks
one
pretty.
bedroom.
Yeah.
One bedroom, one
$1,000.
bath is $2,000 plus.
I think
you
it's
could
like,
rent a house for that.
You can.
I don't
crazy.
I like the downtown area. I think everything looks pretty, but I feel like it could maybe cause issues. I don't know. I don't know if it'll cause displacement or anything because the areas right behind along I think it's called Wolf Road.
Yeah.
Those
Mhm.
are I would say those are a lot of more affordable housing and stuff like that. And that kind of
Yeah.
I don't know, it's gentrification-esque a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's it just kind of hides.
Kinda, but it's not like there was
Building
anything
actually
there
is.
like that they took over.
Yeah, there wasn't anything
like
there.
it literally used
Uh-uh.
to be like the furniture warehouse for a while.
Yeah.
And they closed that.
That was ugly. It was just there.
I want to know, like, I want them to like build something like where the Kmart used to be.
Oh yeah.
Do you know like the Aldi right by the intersection
Aldi that
of
closed?
Elmhurst? Elmhurst and
My mom was so
Elmhurst
mad
and
when they
what
moved
the fuck is
it.
that, Dundee?
Yeah, same.
But do you know what they're building now?
What?
What?
More housing
Oh.
They
I-
need to
in
stop.
that little crevice.
I mean, I feel like I get it. Like, I think Wheeling's a very nice, like, it's very nice place where it's like close enough to different places. You know. I think the only downside.
Hi, Mama.
Oh, hello. I think the only
Mom, you
downside
can
is like
come
our
in.
train station doesn't run on the weekends.
You can go get it. They already saw you.
It's like our train. Like I feel like Wheeling is a really ideal place because it's close to like a lot of different
Everything.
towns. But like the only
Yeah.
downside is like it's our train station doesn't run on the weekend.
It doesn't.
No,
So
Yeah.
like if you like work on the weekend,
we
you
gotta
can't
try.
take the train
like
to downtown.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to go to Arlington Heights
I
or
know.
Glen.
I know, but I think I still
Glenview.
do like the fact that we are kind of a center of all like a really good towns. Schaumburg, Lincoln, like Vernon
Yeah.
Hills,
Mhm.
Highland
O'Hare.
Park. Like,
It's good
yeah,
access
we're
to
like,
O'Hare.
yeah, we're right in the center. I mean, like,
As much as
we
I
have a
clown
lot of
on Wheeling,
malls. We have a
as
lot
much
of.
as I clown on this town.
That's my mom. But yeah, we just have a lot of malls. Like, I know up in Gurney, my cousins are like, I really like that you live here because you have access to everything.
Like it's close
all,
enough.
all like the trendy places or whatever. And I'm like, well, you guys have a mall, like it's fine. And they're like, yeah, it's just different. So, yeah. Wow. See, we really segue into just
Yeah.
a lot of things.
Anyway, I can have a question for Eric if I can remember it. Do you ever like because you also grew up, you grew up here, you were born here. So like, do you ever like feel disconnected from like your culture, or like what ways do like your family like celebrate like Mexican culture like here? Because it's like definitely different from
Yeah.
like living in Mexico, and it's like definitely different from like, I feel like different families do things differently.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't feel disconnected. I feel like they're in many ways good at maintaining that, or just having family is good at like, because like outside of a pandemic, right? Like family would come over every single week, or we would see them every single week, and we'd always be celebrating
Something.
whatever. Yeah. I mean, and we're always talking Spanish and celebrating if it's holidays here or Mexican holidays or those traditions. So that's always happening. However, what did cause, I think, a big disconnect was not like geographically leaving or having family be fractured a little bit, but it was religion actually, because my parents were Jehovah Witnesses for many years, and obviously I would go with them. And they don't do anything. They don't celebrate anything. They don't do nothing. And they don't do birthdays. They don't do Christmas. They don't do nothing.
They probably are like, which one's the cheapest religion?
So yeah, I never like yeah, we never really did. Oh, they didn't celebrate birthdays, and for so long I never knew the Spanish birthday song. And I was so like, I want to know. I learned it now, but
I hope so.
I'm like, there's so many things I don't know because of this religion. And we stopped going when I was around like, I don't remember. It was elementary school at the end. How old are you when you finish elementary school? Like 10, 12?
10-ish.
Yeah, but yeah, for my
That's
first 10
great.
years of my life, we were
No
going to church.
birthdays? That's crazy. I mean, over here we have like Filipino parties, like
Yeah.
culture, religion wise. So we have Simbang Gabi celebrating for Christmas, and we have like Viva Pitseñor, which is another Filipino tradition, and it goes crazy in the Philippines. But like over here, we only celebrate like one day, whereas
Mhm.
over there it's like a week, month.
It's
I don't
9
know.
days. It's 9 days.
There you go.
The 9 days before
So
Yeah.
Christmas. Bro, one time there was one year my mom was like, let's go every single day. So we went to a different church, like that celebrated, and I was just like, bro, it's the same thing every time. It's not any like the mass is not any different. And so, but I only just came because I wanted the
food.
food at the end. Because after the first like 2 days, I'm over it.
yeah,
But yeah,
I like
because like something I see from like, because like I grew up like around a lot of like Hispanics and Latinos, is like something like you see is like there are like some households like they're like quote unquote like very have like a lot of like very Mexican, even though like their kids like they grow up in like they were born in America, but they like still don't like know like English like too well, just like because of like how they're raised in the household and stuff like that. And that's something I thought was like pretty interesting. But yeah, I know you, Eric, were like you're like involved in like the Latino cultural kind of stuff in like college and stuff like that. So like what caused you to like wanna like be involved with that? Because I know some people are like, oh, you like they don't need that because like you're already like Latino or like whatsoever.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting question that for everyone. Because I know you did the same, and I'm not sure what Tiffany or Kanae did.
I did
I'm not
not.
quite
I
sure
worked-
Tiffany did.
I worked at a Japanese store.
Oh yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, that's close enough.
So
Yeah.
for
I did
me,
the least cultural thing.
I'm working.
Yeah, I just worked.
For me, I don't know. I feel like it's a really easy way to find people that you have like things in common with. And so, I guess I would, you don't even seek it out. Sometimes it kind of just naturally happens. But, because you have a lot in common with these people. And I don't know, I just thought it was interesting, and so I worked at the Latino Cultural Center for a couple years. I started a like a Latino CS org, and I don't know if I think that's pretty much it. But I guess you could say I was really
Mhm.
involved with a lot of
Yeah.
the Latino things in our campus. But I just thought it was really primarily a good way to like make friends, get to know your campus. Because before that, I wouldn't. I was just a commuter, right, going to
Because
UIC,
you commute to school.
right? And it was hard. It's really hard to make friends going to being a commuter first, and also um, having a lot of the other students also be commuters.
Because like a lot of people like don't stick around like on
Right,
campus too much.
right. And so frequently, like the first year and maybe even the second year, I would just go home after, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't. What am I gonna do? I don't know. And it's like it's late in the day. You want to go home. You're hungry. Yeah, whatever. But so I'm like, okay, let's do some of these things, meet people. And I thought it was probably the best decision because at least for me, that's how I met all of my really good friends from college and made connections. Yeah. By you,
Tiffany
KJ.
just worked. Tiffany just worked. Oh, the
Well,
cat.
okay, I have an excuse. I tried to look
You're in
for
Iowa. You're in Iowa, so
yeah.
yeah.
I tried to look for like a Cambodian association because I know my cousins, they went to Wisconsin, and so they had like a Lao Cambodian association thing that they did that they
Yeah,
really
yeah. I know. Like some
Cambodia
people.
or Iowa doesn't have one. They have a South Asian association, but there's no
They had
Cambodians
like
in
a
that.
small Filipino one. I know.
Yeah, they had a small Filipino one. I
Did
could
they
have
not have
joined.
like a? Did they have like a Asian
They had a
American one?
they had an Asian sorority
Oh, okay.
that I could have joined, but I wasn't about to be in
A
a
sister for life.
sorority. Yeah. I had one of my friends, she asked me to join with her, like rush with her, but I was just like, I don't want to be committed into a
I mean,
sorority.
yeah. I mean, you could have just rushed and not accept the bid.
I could have, yeah, but I
Yeah, I know a
just
lot of
didn't.
I know a lot of people who did that.
I just didn't want to go through all that.
Yeah.
But I know there was like a house, like a building that was for Southeastern Asian people, like that I could have like go and do activities with, but a lot of the activities that they did have was either during class or during work
Class.
or just like right when class ended all the way across campus. I was just like, I'm hungry. I just want to go home.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. So like there I mean
You
there were
tried.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
It's
researched.
what counts. It's
I
what
I wish
counts.
you guys had like, cause I know like there's like a lot of colleges had like they had a AAA Asian American
Mhm.
Association, cause
Yeah,
that's that's
I
pretty
wish we
big.
had it.
Yeah, I wish poor Iowa,
Yeah.
cause like it's very big in like the Midwest, like the AAA. But yeah,
Made me
I mean, we have
sad
a lot of international
Why are
kids.
you
Like,
sad,
you
Eric?
know,
because I was thinking about high school. Like all of like I feel like there was so few because well we were pretty much well, I was pretty much always in the honors classes and the AP classes, right? And it was, I would say, compared to the school, it was not diverse at all. It was very white, and there was like, I don't know
are
What
what
is
you
was that.
okay?
happening?
Are you okay?
Is your dad okay?
That wasn't my side.
No, it's
Oh,
AJ's
that's AJ.
side.
he's fine. He's fine.
Okay. I forgot what I was saying.
You're
Yeah, I was
sad
just very,
because
yeah, I was just really white. I feel like I didn't really know or have a lot of like Hispanic or Latino friends, even though half the school was like
You know.
fucking Mexican, like me. I mean, I didn't make friends, obviously. Like I was friends with like Tanya and Rebecca and Juan.
you know that Rebecca was the first friend I made
Really? I mean,
at
marching band.
Frost. No, at
Oh.
Frost.
Oh, I Frost. Okay.
What
Yeah,
you
so
doing?
she was my first friend that I made, and then it was like Allison, and it was interesting.
Oh.
So shout out to Rebecca.
Yasmin.
She's a good girl.
Yasmin was my first friend in high school
Oh,
for
Yasmin
band
was
camp. Yeah.
Yasmin was my first band friend
Yeah,
in
band friend.
middle school, and now she's my life friend.
My first friend in middle school. Okay, cause you know I went to, I did so I went to middle school.
Sorry, I don't know what I just did.
I was like, were we not recording the whole time?
I know. I was like, Eric.
I paused and then I unpaused. I meant.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, yeah,
Oh,
I didn't know
God.
anyone going into like middle school because like, you know, like people like usually at elementary school, everyone goes to the same middle school. but I didn't. My first friend was it was Anna Uribe, and then it was
Mhm.
also Nancy Diaz. I don't
I
remember.
remember. I went to her
Yeah.
house once.
Yeah, Nancy. And then eventually, I ended up becoming friends with Eric.
I
And
don't
then
remember how.
I don't remember how. We were in the same we
Classes?
were in home
maybe?
base together. No.
Mr. Myers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I also became friends with Gina there.
You were, I mean, I think we were both in orchestra too.
Yeah, we're in orchestra. Yeah, so I just came friends with Eric, and me and Eric kind of just floated around different friend groups.
Eric, how
Like
did we
Eric was
become
always in the same friend
friends?
group with
I know
me.
how I became friends with
I
Tiffany.
don't know.
How did I become friends with Eric? Did you just-
Because you became friends with me, and Eric comes along.
It was like
Okay.
mutual friends. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Eric's like the package deal. Like he's just
I
gonna be
know.
there.
I know with Tiffany, we were like the freshman class that made it to Wind Symphony.
Yeah, and then
So then we were the babies.
Yeah.
And then we were grouped with like Yasmin. Your first friend was Yasmin,
My first
and
friend.
she, well, like in bands
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
So then we kind of were grouped together, and then that's when we met our little band crew. for a
Yeah, I
little
don't
bit.
remember
Me
that.
and
but I'm
Tiffany
glad we
became
did.
friends because we were nerds. Like we were just straight up like we were
Weebs.
we were weebs, we were Koreaboos. I got kicked out of my seat by Nick Janulis.
Oh,
Bro,
that was that class?
bro, that was my assigned seat.
I know.
Man, I got kicked out. But yeah, going back, I was also saying that like similar to Eric, I joined like the Filipino Association because Filipinos like to be around other Filipinos for some reason, and like that's obviously the same for like Filipino Americans. Like definitely like I mean I grew up pretty Filipino, but it's like there's like a lot about like my culture that like I don't know because like I guess like my parents don't really like talk too much about it, even though like I like speak the language and stuff, like our language. Yeah, well, hello.
Made a lot of friends there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I didn't think I would become as involved with that
I know.
organization as I did. Like I know a lot of people from like high school who like I still talk to. Like when I come home, they're like, AJ hangs out with a lot of like AJ only hangs out with the Asians now. And I'm like, because like I went to school in Indiana, so like the white people there, they're like really white. They're like countryside people, like going to school like with 40 like graduating class of 40 people, probably going to college is the first time they've ever seen a black person or an Asian person.
Oof.
Oh, Iowa. Those people, their graduating class, 20 people. I'm like, that's the size of my classroom.
Yeah, and it's like
Wow.
definitely definitely because I was like I want to make friends, and it's like easy. Like I made friends because I did like the camp at the beginning of the year, like before school started. There's like a camp, and I kind of made friends with those people. But like the people I made friends with there, they were like the international students. Like I clicked more with like the people who are like international, like because like they could like kind of relate more. So I was friends with people from like Sweden, from like Mexico, from Nicaragua, and then I joined like the Filipino Association, and like, bro, I was like really shy there, and like I think like the first few months I like only talked to really like my roommate, and like I had like two friends that I talked to, like my friend Chelsea, but like my friend Chelsea was definitely more outgoing than me, and so she knew a lot more people than I did, and I would like hang out. She would invite me to like hang out with them more. And then also Caitlin, like I knew Caitlin because Caitlin's sister was the president of the organization at the time. And at some point, like I met more people, and it's like Halloween, and then we always say this is like that's the anniversary of our friendship is Halloween, because that's when like I met like my main like friend group in college, and not even all of them were like in like the club. Like everyone kind of just knew each other like through different ways, like either through like being in like the dance, like some of them were on the dance team together and stuff like that. So I met a lot of people there, and it was just like a way for me to like connect with like my culture, as a because your experience as like a Filipino American is definitely different than a Filipino, you know. So there's like a lot of people there who like they grow up Filipino American, but like they don't know too much of their culture. And I definitely grew up like more like in touch with my culture, just like with how my parents are. So I spent a lot of time like like helping people learn about the culture more, as well as giving the opportunity for me to do more research. And I think I also became very more active with the like outside my friend group and more with the club. Was like basically I was forced into a board position because our club actually wasn't like too big at the time. And so God, what fell? So I just had I was forced to become cultural chair, kind of. I showed up to elections to vote for my friends, you know, like as a good friend would. And they're like, okay, you know, AJ, you should run right now. And then like give a speech. I'm like, bro, I don't know what I'm doing at all. And so, yeah, from that point on, I became a lot closer with like the upperclassmen of the club. And for some reason, I'm crazy, and I ran for board every single year. And after I was on board every single year, that I was able to in college, and also was almost director of the show, but you know, COVID happened. Yeah, so it was a way for me to be more in touch with my culture and get more friends that were like-minded, and everyone from like it wasn't like just Filipinos, because a lot of people were also in like the Vietnamese club. So I was friends with a lot of people from like the Vietnamese Association and like the sororities, the fraternities and stuff like that. So I just surrounded myself with like mostly Asian people in college. Like I had like some friends who were like not Asian. Like my friend Kelsey, she's half black, half white, but like you know, she's Korea boo. So does that really good? She really likes Asian culture and stuff like that. So we all became really good friends. I still keep in touch with like all of them from college. They're making big money. I chose the right friends. I made the right investment in my friends.
Wealthy by association.
Wealthy by association. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We should do our recommendations.
Recommendation. Yeah. Thank you everyone for sharing the past 2 episodes. We're gonna everyone recommend like traditional food from like our culture, or like in general.
I'm gonna do a cultural tradition.
Cultural, okay.
You can do food.
We'll do food. Okay, go. Think of one. Click.
Okay, so mine is it's there's a day, I don't know what day, but I think it's in the beginning of January. Maybe it's related to El Día de los Tres Reyes Magos, which is basically related to Jesus' birthday, right? And so they make this bread that's like the shape of a donut, but it's like a bread, and it has a bunch of little. It's a bread, and they put little figurines inside, like little baby figurines.
Oh, yeah.
You cut them up, and then you randomly distribute them to whoever. And I think usually you have everyone cut their own piece. If you get a doll, then you have to make tamales, and I think that happens like 2 weeks later, and you have to make them for everyone, and then everyone gets together like 2 weeks later, and they eat tamales.
That's cute.
So we're actually making tamales today. Well, I'm not. My aunt and my mom are.
Hey,
we
need some. You made some last time. We never got some. Eric,
I'll let you know if there are extras. I'll let you know.
No, Eric. No, Eric. We are fam too. Okay, you gotta feed us. Okay.
We've never had
your tamales.
I've been friends with Eric for so long. Never.
Yeah.
Are you even my friend?
Save us 2 pieces. Just save us 2 pieces. Be like, Dad, Mom, like.
Make some extra.
What if they're too spicy for you?
What do you mean too?
What do
you mean?
Hello?
Bro, I eat very spicy food, Eric.
I'm offended by you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, I
No,
know.
okay.
I have one. I
Go.
have one. That's
You
pretty-
can be my Filipino representation, AJ.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if this is like a very like superstition thing. Like I didn't even know about this, but I just think it's very interesting because like my friend told me about it. But apparently, when you're trying to sell your house, you're supposed to like you scatter the coins everywhere, and you're supposed to like buy a statue of Saint Joseph and bury him in your backyard in order to sell the house. And you have to dig him up when you sell it. And I thought that was a very weird thing. And that really stuck out in my mind for some reason. Like in my head, like that was the only thing I could think about.
So scary.
know?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that I've never heard about that. Or like, just having a lot of Jesus around in your house. Like
Yeah.
all the paintings,
Mhm.
the what's it called? The Last Supper. I feel like every Filipino has
I can
like
show
that
you.
in the house.
I
And
can
I'm
show you.
like, oh, he's everywhere.
He's everywhere. Okay, go Tiffany.
Well, I guess this isn't like my favorite cultural. It's also like I guess a superstition. I couldn't find like.
It's just
Like
something
fun or
that
unique?
came up.
Yeah. I tried looking up stuff. My grandma would always say like, oh, don't like lay down and eat like while you're eating because you'll turn into an alligator. And I'm just
Oh.
like, huh? But I think it's just mainly just so like you don't lay down while you're eating, just like manners, I guess. I don't know.
I think it's so you don't choke.
Or that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess another
No,
thing
it's
was
so you
like,
don't turn into an alligator.
Come
yeah, that was
on.
there.
Jeez, respect.
True.
Yeah, I didn't have enough time for this.
Bro, you guys were typing all still talking, so you had time to think about it.
I didn't have enough time to Google.
You're right. All right. So next.
I don't know. What else? I don't know. Oh, I'll say for my Japanese culture. I know we have like a day called Children's Day. and
Bro,
it's a
I love
day
that. So
for
cute.
it's all about children. So the children get celebrated. And there's these like cute like kawaii like koi fish that are like flag wise. There's like little pinwheel. And on that day in Japan, you would go out on a field wherever they usually have like designated times or just throughout the day. And the children would receive like these little bags for like goodies, treats, candies, whatever. And you can't open it till the end of the day, but it's like a surprise. It's supposed to be a surprise.
That's cute.
And then what they would do is they would have a parade too. And they would wave like the
parade
flag.
of little kids.
Yeah, and they would be
That's so
dressed in like
cute.
kimonos or traditional Japanese wear,
Oh,
and they would play the taiko drums, and it would be just a day, like a really happy day, celebrating kids because they're just very appreciative and supportive of their future. Like they wish them of their good health. I'm like, damn, like that was nice that we got to celebrate that. Like it was cute. It's really cute. I have it. I have
all old people. They want more
I have it
children.
somewhere. I know, yeah, for sure. There's too many old people. They have an island
The
designated
proportionality.
for old people in Japan. So,
Yeah. Mhm.
but yeah. Okay, AJ, go ahead.
We love these cultural traditions. Well, thank you everyone for
Traditions
sharing.
minus my New Year's. Going back.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Thanks for-
Tiffany, go.
Okay. Anywho. Yeah, so thank you everyone for sharing, even though we went on a lot of tangents, but that's just how we are. Anyways, so we are signing off on this episode of our part 2 on immigration. So catch us next week. What are we gonna talk about? Who knows?
Oh, it looks like we're gonna be talking about money and stocks, but that's
Money
to
and
be determined.
stocks. So next week, check out our episode for next week, and we will give you the tea on the GameStop stock situation. Ooh, and how to become rich, maybe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.